Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more New York Jets franchise. And as you can see, for the first time in a long time, pretty much almost 60 years. Actually, yeah, it'd be about 60 years. The New York Jets win this Super Bowl. Not by one touchdown, not by two, almost three exactly. 34-14. We did it. We've accomplished what many before us have not. We have accomplished both an MVP of the New York Jets and a Super Bowl championship all in the same year. From drafting Mike Ward in the top 5 at number 3, becoming a playoff contender that literal year in his rookie year last year. We are in year 3 of the rebuild, but we're going to try to improve on this team, fix up some things, because not everything was as clean as it could be. In that playoff game against the Broncos, it was rough. We had to resort to winning on a last second kick return touchdown by Tayshaun Starks. We can't be having that. We've got to try to stop them on defense. Now, I will admit Trevante didn't have the best season. He had a pretty solid rookie year. He was at one point the leader for Rookie of the Year in defensive side. But he just didn't win it. He couldn't play consistent enough. But the defense held strong all the way through. And this was the last time the Jets even won a Super Bowl. It was against the Indianapolis Colts. Actually, I think at this time they were probably the Baltimore Colts. And Joe Namath did not win MVP. So it's the first time a Jets player has ever won MVP in the NFL. For the Jets, of course. And first time we won a Super Bowl since 1968. Almost 60 years exactly. What nobody has expected us to do is win a Super Bowl, let alone make the playoffs. But Coach Xavier Foster had a plan from the very beginning. And what did he do? He executed on it. He wanted to get us a new quarterback who was actually good. It was a pretty difficult choice picking between Roman Rhodes and Mike Ward. Both men were pretty solid quarterbacks. We had just gotten Aaron Rodgers, and then we got the guy who looked like he could be the next Aaron Rodgers. He had pretty good arm strength, and he was really accurate. But other than that, he wasn't really mobile. Now, I'm not saying Mike Ward's that mobile, but he's definitely a lot better if you think about it. His stats looked a lot more even and like pretty solid. So from that point, it looked good. But Roman Rhodes just looked like he had incredible accuracy on every single thing. But we chose the right guy. And Mike Ward wasn't anything special. He went from normal. He got up to star dev through the preseason. Then he just played good enough to get superstar. Almost won MVP his rookie year. And then his following year, his sophomore season, luckily he didn't have a CJ Stroud type drop off. But then again, we aren't really winning games to where he can talk to one of the rookies as if he's somebody and tell him to stop taking hits. Mike Ward did not do that. As a matter of fact, Mike Ward, he did take some hits, I will admit, but not nearly as much as what CJ Stroud or Caleb Williams did. And we were thankful for having Mike Ward, because we wouldn't be in the spot if it wasn't for him. We'd probably be still stuck with Justin Fields or Aaron Rodgers. But this is not where the rebuild ends. Winning one Super Bowl just means that you're on that level. Now you've got expectations, as if we didn't have any already. Our expectations are only going to get more sky high than they already are. And why not when you have an MVP season like this? This was a just pretty much him showing out, showing everybody that, hey, I'm not like last year. I'm better than last year. He took like one he took like one less sack. He played every single game. Luckily Mike Ward is not really injury prone. He threw almost 300 yards a game. He averaged an 118 QB rating. Pretty freaking good. He almost had 50 passing touchdowns. He only had 8 picks and almost 5,000 passing yards. He was only 100 yards off. Of course, Sean Watson did not get any playing time. It was the Mike Ward show through and through. And of course, through the running game, we still have yet to get a 1,000-yard running back. We got really freaking close with Breece Hall if he would not have gotten injured. Which, that's the downside with him. Travis Etienne, we got him after the first off season, and he pretty much took over. Now, he did fumble 4 times this year. Kind of a different look than he had last year. Then again, this was Etienne's first full year starting with us. Last year we traded, actually I think it was this year. No, it was during the draft. During the draft, we wouldn't have got Trevante Bridges if it wasn't for us trading Breece Hall to the Rams. So I think we did pretty solid in that regard. We got a solid D tackle who's got superstar dev. Hopefully he has a breakout year in year 2, of course, but it's a pretty solid run game we've got here. We don't really rank that high, but we can work on that. And now for the receiving game, it's so nice to see Darius Etienne getting over 1,000 yards, his first ever 1,000-yard season in his career. Not to mention he had 14 touchdowns. Led the team in receptions. Yeah, led the team in receptions. Led the team in touchdowns. And he was 3rd in yards per game. This man was a beast. Of course, followed by Garrett Wilson and Rashid Shaheed, both having an 1,000-yard season. Rashid Shaheed, he at times didn't really play all that good, but then he kind of did. He was pretty much our deep ball go-getter guy, but Darius Etienne does actually have the longest catch by any of our receivers or anybody who caught a pass. Darius Etienne could be looking at that wide receiver 2 or even 1 role. Actually, he's already wide receiver 2. He could be looking at wide receiver 1 role very quickly if Wilson keeps regressing. Garrett Wilson went from a superstar dev down to a star dev. Not what you want to see. Because Etienne, he's still a young player. Garrett Wilson's played 4 more years than him. But Etienne could very well get over star dev and basically overpass Garrett Wilson. Is it time to move on from Garrett Wilson and go after a new guy in the draft? I mean, Garrett Wilson, he had a pretty freaking good season. Now, do I want to see him go just yet? Probably not. He won a Super Bowl with us, but this was his best season by far. And it took Mike Ward being 99 overall X Factor. So, he hasn't really played that good this rebuild. And he's regressing, so you can clearly tell he's not playing nearly as good as he used to. This might be a freaking Quinnen Williams situation. As you can see, he hasn't had a 1,000-yard season since 2024. Then again, in 2025, he didn't really play every game. He kind of struggled to play it all. Actually, no, he played every game. The playbook just wasn't really to his standards. We had the Ravens playbook that year, and he wasn't really getting much looks. But we had a couple guys who had more yards than him. He was superstar dev at the time, so there's no real reason why he should be playing that bad. As you can see, this is his first 1,000-yard season and his second worst 1,000-yard season. Now, his touchdowns have significantly improved. I've been dreading this day, but it might be time to move on from Garrett Wilson. And we could go after somebody in the draft. Now, we don't quite have a first-round pick this year, so we're just going to have to try to do something about that. I don't want to see Garrett Wilson go, so we're going to have to try to fill in that spot with somebody pretty freaking good. I think Darius Etienne has played well enough to become that wide receiver one. He's definitely proven it. He's one of the best pass catchers in the league. And Garrett Wilson, I'm pretty sure we just re-signed him too. He's got 3 years left on his contract. So it's not like we're in any danger of actually losing him, but he does cost a lot of money that we could definitely free up. We can definitely free up that money. And a trade would definitely help us. Now, he does have significant interest, or you can see right there, the overall interest. He likes that we're in the Super Bowl chase because, well, we kind of just won one. So Garrett Wilson's kind of got a ring already. He likes the scheme fit, and he likes that we got kind of a big market. Not the biggest, but we've got a good market. Now, he hasn't really won any awards since he's been in the league. He hasn't really won Offensive Player of the Year. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he was drafted pick 10 in 2022. Pretty much his only achievements, which is kind of sad. For a guy took so highly, I don't think I think it's time to possibly look in a different direction with Garrett Wilson. Now, this offense, we've already lost so much, but we could look at getting rid of a lot of cap. Like, you can see right now, he's worth a lot of money. He's going to be costing us a lot over the next couple years. I think Mike Ward will definitely be fine, but if we can probably look to boost up, like, say, get a new receiver that doesn't cost nearly as much, or uh, or going after a guy who isn't like not necessarily not expensive, but a guy who more fits our play style. Heck, even going after maybe another defender. We've already got a really freaking good defense. It's just a matter of will Mike Ward perform without him? Or will it be obvious he needed him pretty big? And then Colston Loveland, he kind of balled out this year. Well, kind of being he did ball out. 71 catches, 813 yards. Him and Mason Taylor were the two go-getter guys when it came to jump balls. Now, Mason Taylor didn't really have as big of a year as he typically did, but he still did have a solid year, especially for the tight end 2 role. Now, if Mason Taylor can get up to like a star dev, maybe, just maybe, I could look at giving him the tight end 1 spot, but for now, that's Colston Loveland's spot. Mason Taylor will forever remain a channel legend just because of all the insane things he's done with being with us for this 3 years so far. I don't see us releasing him anytime soon. If we can get Mason Taylor to retire a New York Jet, I'd be very, very happy about that. And now for the tackles, Thomas, Sherwood, and Hamilton all had over 100 tackles. Azariah Thomas had 117. He's been pretty freaking solid every single year he's played. And I'm going to show you something. He has developed so much from his rookie year. He's turned out to be one of the best corners in the league. He's rated in the top 18, and he's 18. he's not terrible. His zone coverage is 96. So if we play zone coverage with him, he's most likely gonna be able to like defend almost any pass. His play rec is insane, 93. His man coverage could definitely use some work. He's just not the fastest, but his awareness is 91, which is definitely helping him out a lot. He has his own hawk ability. Obviously, playing to his strengths is a pretty big deal. He hasn't unlocked every single superstar ability yet, but he still is a really good player. X Factor. He got many different chances this year to get up to where he's at. Him and Sauce Gardner are an insane duo at corner. They both got an X Factor. Kyle Hamilton has an X Factor. And then Trevante Bridges has superstar dev still. That's a pretty scary defense if you're just going based off the abilities. And then Sherwood's also been considered one of the best linebackers in the league just almost every year, along with Azariah Thomas being one of the better corners in the AFC top 10. Now for TFLs, Shamar Turner and Will McDonald are by far the furthest from anybody else. Shamar Turner, I brought him in to this rebuild for him to be one of our best D tackles. He is, well, our best D tackle, and he's definitely helped replace Quinnen Williams quite well alongside the rookie sensation Trevante Bridges, who only got 5. Now, he didn't really have the best of a rookie year, but we can definitely look for him to break out in his sophomore season like Mike Ward. Mike Ward didn't. Okay, well, I'm going to be honest. Mike Ward had the best rookie season by a rookie quarterback or just any rookie in the NFL history ever. He nearly won MVP as a rookie. He won Offensive Player of the Year. He won Best QB. Yeah, basically, I'm saying Mike Ward is one of the best quarterbacks. He's basically where Patrick Mahomes is at if Patrick Mahomes started off his first season as a starter in his rookie year. And now for sacks, Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson. I am so sorry for butchering his name. They both have 11 sacks on the season. They both have 11 sacks on the season. Those two almost got a sack. I'm pretty sure they got a sack almost every time I played, which is insane to think about because they're not the highest rated. They're like 70 something overall, like 77 and 7, like 78, 79-ish. They're really, they definitely outperformed what their rating is. Like they played significantly better than what they did, than what their overall says. But they ain't breaking no records anytime soon, which I wish we could do better on the D tackle spot. Shamar Turner, Trevante, right after these two, who did pretty well. Shamar Turner and Trevante, yeah, we've got to do better. I don't know how Trevante didn't get more sacks. We had the Steelers playbook at one point. I think we might have switched up from the Jets playbook at one point. But we had the Jets defensive playbook, the Steelers defensive playbook, and now we've got the Ravens defensive playbook, which is probably why certain players did as good as they did. Stutzman got 4.5 sacks, and then it just pretty much drops off from there. Now for interceptions, Sauce Gardner, at one point he was considered the best defensive back in the AFC, but then he just started dropping off because he was getting picks. He had 4, but just kind of stopped. He didn't really do much after, I guess, like, what was it, halfway through the season? A little bit after halfway. He was playing pretty good. He had 6 deflections, and that's pretty much it. And then Kyle Hamilton, he was a really good addition. He helped boost this defensive group past the level we had last year. Last year, We struggled to stop the Ravens, and the Ravens didn't even make the playoffs, thankfully. Thankfully, but because they lost like half their players. That's not even a joke. They lost half their best players. They lost Zay Flowers. They lost Kyle Hamilton. They lost Marlon Humphrey. Everybody who was good on their team, actually almost everybody who was good on their team, basically walked and went somewhere else. Kyle Hamilton, he realized after we lost to him in the AFC Championship last year, he's like, you know what? This Jets team, I think they could definitely be the one. I've already won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. Why not try to go to the Jets and win another? They look like a good squad. Maybe Kyle Hamilton is considered a traitor to Baltimore. Maybe, just maybe. Well, whatever he is, he's a two-time Super Bowl champion. He's won a Super Bowl with two straight teams in 2 straight years. That's an achievement in and of itself. Andre Sisco, Azariah Thomas, and our Darius Washington, all fine fellows of the Jets. They played pretty well. As you can see, we tried to keep most of our guys from like the very beginning. Development is a big key to winning stuff like this. Because, I mean, you could just go out and sign and trade for all these big tier guys, big name guys. You could cheese it with the trades. But developing these guys and getting some pretty small. There's not really too many spots I think we actually kind of need to worry about. I mean, maybe like offensive line depth, maybe running back, but I'm not really too worried. Rashad White, he played really well in his first year as a Jet. I thought he played pretty well when running the ball, and even better as a receiving back. Now, I wasn't really expecting him to be as good as he was, but we definitely he definitely fit into our offensive scheme very well. Now, the stats may not show it, but he did do pretty freaking well. He had 264 rushing yards, and receiving, Rashad White had 204. He didn't quite have a touchdown, but he did have pretty decent speed. He's definitely he's more, yeah, he definitely fit into our team quite well whenever I actually played. In simulation, it's kind of sad, but he did do pretty well when I played. He is 28, which that's not really too much to worry about, but him regressing is only going to mean it's getting worse and worse for him. He is still the number 12 ranked receiver in the league, so that's definitely going to give him some value. He is a team player. His health looks pretty good. His injury isn't really that bad, and his stamina is pretty solid. Now, he was really happy. He got a lot of XP from that Super Bowl win, but I guess it's not going to show it. But yeah, last offseason, he regressed down to a star dev. He does have a lot of interest in us, so if we were to try to resign him, he'd have that. But him, he's only been playing worse and worse in his career. It started off with him being an X factor in his earlier years. But then, when we started this rebuild, he was a superstar. And then and then I guess last season, he went down to a star dev. So at this rate, he's going to go down to a normal dev eventually. He's already 28. He's about to be in the prime of his career. Now, we did just win a Super Bowl, so we can go after older guys. We can go after older guys who are really good because we aren't like the season 1 Jets. We are like the season 3 Jets. Now, whether Garrett Wilson will make us pay if we get rid of him, I don't think it's a betrayal to him. He's already won a ring. He hasn't really been playing all that well. He already sees that Garrett Wilson, or he already sees that Darius Etienne is kind of slowly taking over his spot as wide receiver 1. Now, looking at his stats, he's still really good. He's still an insane receiver. Playing with him though, that's been a different story. Playing with him, like actively using him in a game, hasn't really been all that successful. I've seen more success from Rashid Shaheed and Darius Etienne. In simulation though, that's a different story. This man can, if you have the right scheme and a good enough quarterback, this man can ball out in he can definitely ball out in simulation. But having a guy who would definitely help me out in the playing and simulation would be great. Garrett Wilson is not that. Now, I probably don't target him enough, but it's kind of hard to target him when he's getting double covered every game. Now, he might not be double covered every game, but it's just hard to target him. Now, with Darius Etienne potentially being able to get up to that wide receiver one spot if we get rid of Wilson, that's going to leave some pretty big holes in that receiving group. Whether we go sign a new receiver or we go get another guy in the draft. Now, I don't know if there's too many good receivers, but we're going to have to hope there is. Now for mock draft for the one right before it spoils it all. We don't have a first round pick. And it's very obvious. We kind of traded it away to get up to where we are now. Now the first potential receiver is Delonte Stokes. He's a round 1 to 2 talent, so probably not worth trading up too high for. Now, Tennessee, if we trade them, Garrett Wilson, yeah, they would have a plenty fun time with him. Now, the next receiver going off the board, it doesn't appear like we're going to have a second one at all. Because no other team really needs one. Tennessee, they think they've got their guy. They think they've got their guy in Delonte Stokes. Now, I don't really believe that. Let's be honest. He's probably not going to be all that good. Now, we'll admit he's got good solid speed, which is kind of garbage. I want a guy who at least has 90 speed. We need a new receiver. And Delonte Stokes will definitely not be it. He's got pretty good catch in traffic. He's not really that good of a route runner. His spec catch and catching are not the best. I don't think I would want to take him. He's not that fast. And he's just not that good of a receiver. Sergio Delgado. Now, he doesn't necessarily have the best stats at all. His catching in traffic sucks. His catching sucks. His route running sucks. He's a jump ball guy. He has elite to great speed. So he might not start right away. We might have to get a new guy in free agency. We might even let Tayshawn Starks eventually get some playing time. He looks good enough. But Sergio Delgado, he's supposed to go potential UDFA. His skills look like it too. But he's only 5'9". I don't really understand why they make guys 5'9" with elite speed. I can almost promise you Sergio's going to have elite speed. If he's a potential UDFA with round 3 to 4 talent, there ain't no way this man sucks. Ian Lloyd, he's kind of the same as Sergio, but he doesn't look nearly as bad. His spec catch is incredible. His catching in traffic, they could definitely use some work. He has great to good speed, which probably means like late 80s. It's not terrible, but it's not really all that great. It seems all these faster guys are definitely the faster guys are short. They're 5'9", almost every single one of them, which makes no sense because you're going to have guys who are tall, like, remember Xavier Worthy? He wasn't that short. He was like, what, 6'1", 6'2"-ish? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he was like above 6 foot. And he ran possibly one of the fastest 40-yard dashes, if not the fastest ever. He broke the record for the 40-yard dash, and this man was not short. But I mean, if they say 5'9" guys can run that fast, then I guess 5'9" guys can run that fast. And Roman Allison, he looks pretty solid. He's got good to solid speed, which it is not what I want. But Roman Allison looks like a guy we could try to trade up for, not nearly as high as you would think. Heck, we might not even have to trade up into the first round at all. I doubt Roman Allison will go there. He's not projected to go to anybody there, but he could very well. He could very well go pretty high in the second. He is 6'4". Another jump ball guy. If I had to guess, he probably has a spec catch. Almost every single one of these guys do. I don't know why. It said receiver was one of the big needs in this draft. Maybe it's not the time to get rid of Garrett Wilson. I mean, he takes up a lot of money. If we want to have any shot of even, I don't know, making a playoffs, we have to get another receiver. There's no other explanation about it. Garrett Wilson, I don't want to keep him. He's got a pretty hefty contract. Now, then again, I'm pretty sure we just re-signed him not too long ago. If he's got 3 years left on his contract, that means we've got 3 years of a massive contract. It's not too massive. It's only 60 mil, as if that's not a lot of money, because it is. But Roman Allison looks like probably our best bet at receiver. He's a good all-around receiver. His catching could use some work. His medium route running could also use some work, but I'm not going to say he'd be a good replacement for Garrett Wilson, but he could definitely be a good wide receiver 2 or 3. Shaheed will probably get bumped up to that 2, and then Roman Allison could be the 3. And then the last guy I wanted to look at receiver is Seth Steele. It says he's round 1 talent, or round 1 projection, as of course we're a top fit. His catching looks pretty good. His physicals, they don't look bad. Great to good speed. Now, Seth isn't the tallest. He's only 5'11", 22 years old, out of Oklahoma. And that's not terrible. Good to great speed, so we could be looking at a 90 speed guy. If he at least has 90 speed, I'll be happy with it. But if he doesn't, Seth Steele, you're going to make me a very, very, very upset guy. Now, what doesn't make me upset, though, his deep route running is actually pretty freaking good. His catch in traffic's great. His spec catch is ecstatic. It's actually pretty freaking good, especially for a 5'11 guy. But then again, don't hate on the 5'11 guys. Think about it. Who are some really good 5'11 receivers? First name that comes to mind, Odell Beckham Jr. Now, whether Seth Steele will be on that level, I doubt it. I extremely doubt it. But he wouldn't be bad. The main downside with him, though, look at his catching. His catching, it sucks. But what's funny about that is his catch and traffic and spec catch are actually pretty good, which kind of confuses me. Because if he can have a spec catch, that's really great, and a catch and traffic, that's really, it's good enough to be NFL ready. Why is his catching just sucky? I don't understand. And I hear some players ready to negotiate. We're going to accept both Membu's and Colston Loveland's option. Colston Loveland got up to superstar dev. So why would we get rid of him? We have no reason to. And then Armand Membu, we're going to accept him. Both these guys have been really good for us. Colston Loveland, he's been on a whole other level. He almost had 1,000 yards if it wasn't for, like, well, 3 other guys getting 1,000 yards. We could have had, I don't know if it's been done before, but 4 of our receivers with over 1,000 yards. We almost had that. It was like 187 yards. He was only 187 yards off from having 1,000 yards. And we would have had one of the best Jets teams of all time if you're considering the passing game. Now, Michael Carter, we'll try taking him. I mean, if he'll accept this contract, then he can stay, and he'll continue to play for us. Doug Core, he's 22. He can develop. We're definitely trying to bring him back, but he doesn't want to stay. Well, we just won the Super Bowl, and you were kind of our backup, one of our backup guards. So screw you, Doug. Oh, I know why I would, but Cam Williams, we can try to get back. He has pretty decent interest in us, and he's going to come back. But Devin Bush, he is 30 years old. Now, we won't necessarily have too many draft picks. Devin Bush is pretty much the last guy I'm thinking of keeping. He's wanting a 2-year contract. He's 30 years old. He's only 74 overall. Now, Devin Bush, like I said, he's played pretty good for us. It's just he's getting older. We want to try to get this team to stay young. Well, as young as we can for now. But, I mean, Devin Bush, he's a solid. Well, I guess now's the time for us to actually be able to go out and get older guys. But Devin Bush, he's 30 years old, so there's not really much we can do about it. So, thank you, Devin Bush, for doing all you have. But, unfortunately, it's just time to depart. And now, I realized my mistake when I was editing the video. I kind of hired this man back. So, Stephen Meyer, he did terrible this year. But Zach Parker, he's pretty much been with us since the very freaking start. So let's see who we can go after as the defensive coordinator. If we could please get some different coaches in here, or defense, like some coordinators. Now, offensive coordinators, oh yeah, you can get guys like Kevin Stefanski or, I don't know, Mike McCarthy. I don't truly know, but defensive coordinator pretty much never, ever has anybody on there. Actually, like real life people, I mean. So we're going to give defensive coordinator Jackson Pierce a chance. He's not necessarily that developed, but that's what he's here for. He's been given a really good defense, 3 X factors, and a promising D-tackle player going into his sophomore season. Hopefully he can get it out of him. If Jackson Pierce can do good enough as the defensive coordinator, we could have one of the best Jets teams of all time. Now, time to check some of the scout or the combines. He ran a 4.36, and he's the 4th fastest receiver. Ian Lloyd is a pretty good athlete. His catching isn't the best, but a 4.36 is still like 90-something speed. Now, I said Allison was probably one of my more favorite receivers to go after, and he has good speed. I mean, that's not bad. He's got elite jumping. His acceleration isn't that great. So Allison wouldn't necessarily be that fast of a receiver. He's got B awareness. If you want a more talent-ready receiver, you probably want to go after Allison. And in Sergio Delgado, man, he did absolutely insane at the combine. Yeah, I've got to take Sergio. He might not be the most developed receiver, but he does look pretty good. He could definitely be a solid kick returner. He could take over Tayshawn's spot while Tayshawn develops into some kind of pretty good backup receiver. He was already like 69 overall. Nice. But I definitely think Tayshawn Starks could be more than what we've given him. He could definitely fit into this team quite well. Sergio looks like a pretty good athlete. If Sergio's not hidden dev, then I don't know what is. Seth Steele was the 2nd fastest receiver. I like it. If his catching and stuff was better. I mean, Seth Steele probably doesn't have hidden dev. His deep route running is pretty good. His short and medium are not looking good at all. His just base catching sucks. but his catch and traffic and spec catch are definitely his strong suits. Delonte Stokes, he didn't really have that good of a combine. I mean, he did good in the vertical jump and the 20-yard shuttle, but it just wasn't enough. I don't think Delonte Stokes is going to be a good receiver. Titans will probably take him. The Titans have never really been that good at drafting receivers. They thought it would be a good idea if they trade A.J. Brown to the Eagles and then try to replace him with Traylon Burks, who, let's see, how's his career going exactly? Oh, yeah, he got cut not too long after. Now, we will be going into free agency with about $12 million in cap room. Now, there's not necessarily too much for us to go after. I mean, we can look at receiver, but yeah, there's not really much talent at receiver. Maybe a guy like Marquise Brown. He wouldn't necessarily set us back too much. I mean, getting speed on this team is pretty freaking nice. Now, these are the two guys we're actually considering going after. Adonai Mitchell has the Ravens and the Jets going after him, and a Rich Tyler, who we think could be a pretty solid D-tackle 3 behind two of our best players. Shamar Turner, or two of our best, well, I guess, yeah, players on the team. They're not the highest rated overall players, but they are pretty freaking solid. Shamar Turner and Trevonte Bridges. Maybe getting a solid D-tackle 3 with Rich Tyler. He doesn't really cost that much. We still have a little bit in cap room, most of it going to Adonai Mitchell. We'll probably get two pretty solid players. And we very much do get both of these guys. Now, it's going to probably take a minute for Rich Tyler to get developed just even more than what he is now. He's only 23, so he's got plenty of time to develop. He's not the fastest, but he is pretty freaking strong. His acceleration's pretty decent. The thing that brings him down a lot is probably his awareness. He's 300 pounds, 6'1", so he's looking pretty good. Now, he's got star dev, so that gives me hope. That's the main reason why I signed him. And then Adonai Mitchell, it says future starter. He's 6'2", 205. He's pretty fast. So maybe we won't have to worry too much about going after speed all that much. Alexander Landry doesn't look terrible. He's 22 out of USF. How does his now his combine, other than his bench press, he looked pretty freaking solid. He's got elite speed. Wow, for a linebacker, that's good. Alexander Landry, man, we might have to get a lot of picks. If we can get several second-round picks high up in the second round, or if we can get picks high up in the second round this year, we might be onto something. We can keep our second. Well, Alexander Landry might go well before our pick in the second round. We don't have a first. Maybe we trade up in the first, around the end of the first, preferably, so we can get one of those receivers. Now, the receivers don't necessarily look all that good. We can definitely get a lot, and I mean a lot of picks for Garrett Wilson. Now, we'll probably look at getting a first next year and a second this year. Or if the team has multiple seconds, we can go after 2 or 3. Because if Alexander Landry could come in and replace Devin Bush pretty solid, and he could be this guy looks like a starter like right away. And now for mock draft 5. Donnie Curon, it seems to be the consensus number 1 pick almost all the way throughout. Number 3 was the lowest Donnie Curon dropped. So almost everybody agrees that Donnie Curon is probably just the best guy to take after mock draft 3, of course. But it was either John Ray or Donnie Curon. I guess J.J. Loftus was there too. A J.J. left edge. That seems like a pretty good fit. But mock draft 5, here's what it's looking like. So the Browns look to possibly replace Myles Garrett. And of course, Texans, as usual, need to get O-line. The Ravens trying to build their way back up to being a good team, but I just don't think it's going to happen. The first QB looks like it's going to go to Seattle. They don't believe in Kai Brooks. No way. They do not believe in the Kai. Kai Brooks isn't necessarily the best quarterback, but he's not the worst. They don't believe in him, so they're planning on taking a new QB. And then Braxton Moore to New York. I don't recall if New York drafted a QB last year. They probably don't have Jackson Dart anymore. But they're going to potentially get one of the tallest quarterbacks in NFL history at 6'6", 235. If he was linebacker or receiver, okay, well, he wouldn't be a receiver, let's be honest. He'd be tight end. I don't know why, but these quarterbacks are built different. Like, they're built like receiver, tight end size, even linebacker size. 242? Yeah, brother. But Delonte Stokes remains in the top 5. He's a top 10. Says he's a round 1 talent? Okay. I mean, I didn't really believe in Delonte Stokes that much. And then a bunch of teams going different ways. A bunch of corners going right now. Left tackle's going as well. I mean, this is a corner-heavy draft. So, I mean, Byron Cameron's a round 1 talent. So, you know these guys are pretty good. So far, it doesn't really seem like another receiver's going. And Chicago, they have our first-round pick because we traded for Shamar Turner and Colston Loveland. Chicago also has a number 5 pick. That is their own pick because they just straight up suck. And then they also have our pick. Now, we couldn't really go after too much in free agency. We wanted to just grab a couple guys like a Donnie Mitchell to help boost up the speed of this receiving core. We'll probably just draft a receiver in the draft. But for now, we've got a Donnie Mitchell just in case we don't. Well, we will either way, but... And then we've got Rich Tyler, because I don't want to have to draft D-tackle for 2 straight years. I don't want it to be our biggest weakness, because we actually have 2 really good D-tackles. Rich Tyler, he's probably... Okay, now he's only 67 overall, but he can definitely start as the D-tackle 3. I don't expect him to play anywhere past that, but I do think he'd be a pretty solid defensive tackle number 3. He's got star dev, so he's going to develop faster than, say, a Donnie Mitchell probably would. But I think a Donnie Mitchell is a pretty good receiver. And then Rich Tyler, we can just develop him. He's only 23, so we've got a while with him. And now Brandon Aubrey, a superstar dev kicker, remains untaken. Jonathan Allen goes to the Saints. Trey Benson, running back, goes to Minnesota. The Saints didn't offer him the biggest contract. Jabril Peppers goes to the Raiders for a pretty cheap contract. 1 year, $3.49 million. I mean, they got him pretty cheap. Daniel Hunter, he goes to New England. We probably could have got him. That would have been a pretty solid edge rusher pickup. Joey Bosa goes to the Bengals. So the Bengals finally getting defense. We are 4 years in. Marlon Humphrey goes back to the Ravens. He's still got superstar dev, so Ravens get back Marlon Humphrey. How is this gonna impact us in any way? How is it gonna impact the Ravens? He's 32. He's probably not even the best corner on their team anymore. But I mean, Baltimore needed him for sure. He left after 1 year. This is kind of like Keenan Allen leaving. Keenan Allen Keenan Allen was a veteran. He left for Chicago for like a year or two. Then he's like, you know what? Screw this. I'm out. He went back to the Chargers, and so far he's playing pretty good in real life. But Marlon Humphrey basically just pulling a Keenan Allen, leaving his team for 1 year. He went elsewhere. Probably didn't do much. And now he's back on the Ravens. Yeah, I'm going to go back over. Danielle Hunter goes to the Patriots. Patriots will probably do really good. Deion Dawkins, he goes to Cleveland. They're trying to build up a line. I think Shador is their quarterback right now. Justin Reed, he's going to go to New England. So New England's going to have a pretty solid defense. Now, I don't know if Justin Reed will be their kicker or not, because for whatever reason, he's a pretty solid kicker in this game. Joey Bosa goes to the Bengals, like I've said before. Zach Seiler. Saints building up a pretty solid defense just in free agency. Now, Allen is 33, so that defensive line is going to look pretty scary. Maybe not good enough, because, I mean, Seiler's 32 and Allen's 33, so their defensive line is not getting any younger. Cole Bishop goes to Buffalo. Jonathan Brooks goes to the Bengals. Courtland Sutton goes to Tennessee, which is probably going to explain why they decided not to go after Delonte Stokes in the draft anymore. Because in mock draft 4, they had the Titans taking him. But Courtland Sutton goes to Tennessee. Cam Ward probably going to have another receiver to go throw the ball to. Jalen Warren remains unsigned, but Kenny Clark goes to Seattle. Kenny Moore remains unsigned. Marshawn Lattimore goes to the Raiders, of course. You can probably notice the trend. It's a bunch of older guys getting like smaller contracts at this point. Tony Pollard is 31 years old. I don't think I want to sign him, but Zion Johnson. I'll probably just go through this real quickly. A bunch of these guys not being signed. Dameon Pierce and DeAndre Swift not getting signed at all. Two guys who you would pretty much think would be signed just aren't. I mean, DeAndre Swift, we could make him our running back 3. He's a pretty solid guy. Harold Landry going to Tampa Bay. Man, New England they are freaking boosting up for something. Pretty sure they made the playoffs last year. They just failed to do anything. But maybe signing a guy like DeAndre Swift or Dameon Pierce for a cheap contract in the preseason wouldn't be that bad of an idea. One of these two would at least be good. I mean, they're actually wanting about the same contract, so maybe Dameon Pierce. Maybe, just maybe, we go after Dameon Pierce. I mean, we don't necessarily need another running back. We can probably trade like Rashad White, get Dameon Pierce. Maybe getting rid of Garrett Wilson will get up a massive amount of cap room so we can get at least one of these guys if either one of them are there. Cam Little, the man who kicked a 70-yarder and made it with some room to spare. Okay, that's kind of disrespectful. He doesn't have at least star dev. But Cam Little does look promising. We have Jake Bates. Okay, now here's the thing I want to see. Are they respecting him or are they disrespecting him? How good of kick power does he have? 94 kick power is kind of disrespectful. This man drilled a 70-yarder in preseason. That's a shame. But it was preseason. In a game, though. But we've got our guy at kicker, so we ain't got to worry. So looking at Dameon Pierce or DeAndre Swift would not be a terrible idea. Now, Javonte Williams going to the Ravens. They just lost Derrick Henry to retirement. So maybe Javonte Williams, he's not the best running back, but he can definitely be a pretty solid fit there. Hollywood Brown, who we were actually kind of considering taking, goes to the Rams. So the Rams, who also lost Devontae Adams, they're going to try to get speed. And, I mean, if anything kills us on defense, it's speed. We do kind of own every single LA team. It's been a while since we've lost to either LA team. Like, literally. Patriots get Rondale Moore. I mean, it would have been pretty sick to get both those guys, but we just don't have the money. I'm trying to save up enough money to get re-sign our guys so we don't lose them. Jamel Dean, he's a superstar dev and 80 overall. Imagine if we had three guys at the corner spot with superstar or better dev. That would have been crazy. And he's for cheap too. So Panthers get a pretty good corner at 31 years old. That would have been pretty insane, really. We would have been extra scary. Because we already have three X factors on defense and a superstar dev. Oh boy. And plus, we still got the draft to go. And I'm already eyeing up a pretty good linebacker. Welcome to the 2028 NFL Draft. We've got some pretty big storylines to go into this year. Like the Ravens, they don't have Derrick Henry anymore. They have been struggling to get back to relevancy. They lost pretty much all their players, but they got Marlon Humphrey back. The Dolphins have, well, done the Dolphins. They've just been the Dolphins. Texans haven't really played all that well. Chicago has our first round pick, so we don't have a first round pick. There is only one receiver considered to go in the first round, and that's Delonte Stokes. And of course, the number one pick, everybody considered him the consensus number one draft pick in the NFL draft. It's Donnie Curon. Miami they think this guy can be their next great D tackle. I don't believe Jason Taylor was their D tackle. I believe he was, an edge rusher? Anyways, he could be the next Jason Taylor on defense. Now, the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud, I mean, he's played a lot better. But then again, that Texans O-line is almost always trash. Dog crap. So with the number 2 pick, they're going to take left tackle John Ray. The offensive line hasn't really been a strength of theirs ever. Texans have almost always had a terrible O-line. So I guess now is the time they try to start building it up. And now Cleveland, they want to try to build around Myles Garrett for as long as they can because he's nearing retirement. He's getting older. When we started the rebuild, Myles Garrett was still already pretty old. But now, Myles Garrett, he's much older. So they're going to go after him. They're going to get a new D tackle. They don't know how much time they've got left with Garrett, so they're going to go after Roach. And the Cardinals, ever since J.J. Watt left, they haven't really had that good of a line, defensive player. Now, I will admit, J.J. Watt was probably a little bit washed with the Cardinals, but the Cardinals kind of got him when he was much older. So they're going to go after a guy like Levy. They want to get that defensive identity. Maybe Levy can help them. The Bears, this is their first pick. They have 2 first-round picks. They took our first. So now with their first overall pick, or with their first pick in the draft at number 5, they're going to take a D tackle. They felt their D tackle spot just isn't doing good. Quentin Williams, he's not playing good for them. So they had to go get a new D tackle. They did this last year as well. Will their defense start to look up, or will it just continue to be absolute crap? So now the Ravens, as predicted, they take a left tackle. They got Marlon Humphrey back. They just need Lamar to play good with literally no good players. He doesn't really have much help on that team. The defense is barely sustainable, and their offense, it's pretty much now held together by freaking gum. It's like trying to hold together 2 things of metal on like a scout, like a friggin' Eiffel Tower or a skyscraper. That's like holding up one of the freaking skyscrapers in New York with gum. It's not going to work. It's not going to stick. And the first QB to go off the board, it's Kurt Hall. Seattle hasn't really had that good of a quarterback. They have Sam Darnold. Kai Brooks isn't really playing to what they wanted him to. He's only 78 overall. Going to quarterback here probably isn't your smartest move. If I were them, I would try to develop Kai Brooks. But they just decided to not go that way. I don't know whether Kai Brooks is on his contract year or not, but learning under Sam Darnold is definitely a good idea. Kai Brooks is a normal dev, 24 years old. They just don't believe in him. His throw power looks great. They just haven't developed him whatsoever. They haven't done anything to help him. So it seems like they're just going to do whatever and go away from Kai Brooks. Or if they just want to go the Cleveland route and have 5 quarterbacks on their roster. I don't know what Seattle's doing. They just drafted this guy 2 years ago. Why are you going after a new guy? And now the Giants, with their first pick, they were slated to take a QB. And they're going to do that. Braxton Moore. Jackson Dart. He actually looks pretty good. Why are you going after quarterback this high in the draft? He's 25. He's 84 overall. He looks like William Regal. But, I don't know. They don't like him. They don't like Jackson Dart. This is almost as bad as, I don't know. I don't know how to compare anything's bad. You have Jackson Dart, which I think he actually left the team and came back. No, he never left the team. It's just for whatever reason they changed his number. He had a pretty solid year last year, not throwing 10 picks. That's a pretty good year 3. I mean, he's developing in the right way. It's just they're not helping him at all with drafting a quarterback in the top 5. The Giants make a big mistake in getting quarterback right there. I'm going to be dead honest. You could have went so many different directions. Quarterback is the last thing you need. Unless they're worried Jackson Dart is going to leave after this year, I don't see the point of drafting Braxton Moore. Other than the fact that you only have one quarterback on roster, take one later in the draft. Like the 3rd, 4th, or some people will understand this, the 5th round. You could have took him other ways. You didn't have to take him top 10. What sense does this make? You already have an 84 overall quarterback who's looking pretty good on your roster. He's still young. He's like 25 or 24. I don't remember. I literally just looked at him. But Tennessee takes a corner, number 9. They were gonna go the receiver, Delonte Stokes. But they got Cortland Sutton. So they're gonna go corner, which is not a bad decision. How about that defense? And speaking of the man, he's going to go to Indianapolis. Indianapolis, maybe Delonte could be the next T.Y. Hilton, the next Michael Pittman. I'm not going to compare freaking Marvin Harrison to him because Marvin Harrison is in a whole other tier. Unless Delonte Stokes can be good, I seriously doubt it. Jerome Brooks. Corners are going to start flying off the board at this point. Juan Stoudemire. A bunch of these guys, they all looked pretty good. Cowboys go running back. Pretty solid move by them. I don't hate it. Rams go corner. Byron Cameron goes. Delvin Thomas. Like I said, a bunch of corners are going to go. This was a corner-heavy draft. D tackle, corner, left tackle. This is a pretty good draft if you needed one of those. Now, I thought receiver was going to be a pretty good one this year. I mean, it doesn't look too good. Raiders take left tackle. Broncos go right tackle. Now, we might not need to worry too much about having a first round pick at all, because the guys I want are going to be in the second. And now I know for sure I'm not going to trade away Garrett Wilson this in the first round this year, because I don't really see the need to do it. There's a bunch of the guys I want to go after, as you can see right here. Rounds 2 to 3, round 1, but not really too worried. Seth Steele probably isn't. He doesn't even look too bad. It's just he doesn't look that good. As you see, F catching, that's like a big no-no. Then again, most of the people here, Alexander Landry could have better catching. Actually, no, he has better catching than two legit receivers. Let that sink in. Well, it probably wasn't the best decision, but when have I ever made a good one? Garrett Wilson, Braylon Allen, Muaga, 4th and a 3rd next year, and a 2nd and 3 for the number 28 pick, a 2nd round pick this year, and then the 1st next year. Now, you might be wondering, what are you trying to do with that 1st round pick this year? I'm looking to do something like this. How? Now, as soon as we got the 1st round pick this year, there's several teams willing to give it, or to go after it. There's several teams. Donovan Ezeraku, not a bad option. JT Tuimoloau, not bad either. Logan McMillan, 22 years old, 2 6th-round picks, But, I mean, I was thinking about something. Bucks take Cooper Cobb, Mike linebacker. Chris Roman, left guard, goes to the Panthers. The Jags take a center. The Lions take Dion McKee. Now, here is a pretty interesting decision here. Because look at this. There's a lot of his stuff that's good, but I don't want to have a hit or miss guy. I mean, getting a boost on this defense would help. But I mean, trading for a high pick in the 2nd round would also help. I don't think Landry will go just yet. Now, his combine looks really good. This man is an athlete for sure. He will definitely be a hidden dev. Says he's round 2 to 3, so we can wait a little bit longer. I'm going to see who has the 1st pick in the 2nd round. So the Vikings are offering quite a lot. But I mean, I've already got an idea. The Seahawks got pick 39. The Rams are offering their 1st round pick next year, so we could end up having 3 of those things. I'm not quite interested in that. I didn't really need anything big. Now, I need receiver, obviously, but I've already got a 2nd round pick. I got a 2nd round pick for Garrett Wilson. I have 3 2nd round picks. And I got some picks for next year, because I kind of don't have anything other than a 1st, and I think, like, I don't know. Basically, my point. I don't know what picks we have next year other than a 3rd round pick. So the Browns trade up to 28. They had the number 3 pick, so they trade up into the 1st round. They take Quinn Dixon. So they go defense. Falcons go Adrian Ely. Steelers go left outside linebacker. Packers will go Drew Holiday. And in the Bears, with our pick, they will go. What is the final verdict? Chicago selects left tackle Logan Tucker. Now, we should have some guys I like at number 35. Right edge, Taylor Parker goes. Texans don't need linebacker. Devin Means. So that means we are going to take a really good linebacker. And we needed a guy that could come in and replace Devin Bush. We just lost him. If we can get a pretty good linebacker who's relatively high overall, hidden dev, that'd be awesome. Now, we traded down in the first to get to this point. So technically, 91? Hidden dev, I'll take it. Alexander Landry looked pretty freaking good. Now, he wasn't going to go for a while. Shows good speed for a linebacker, above average coverage skills as a zone defender, slow to react to developing plays. Now, on tape, he doesn't look the best, but his zone coverage is great, awareness is great, and tackle's great. We play a bunch of zone, so he fits into this defense quite well, I'd say. Him being hidden dev is pretty good, so we're 1 for 1 so far. 86 speed, 88 excel. That's pretty good. Hidden dev out of USF. He was an athlete just like Trevonte Bridges. We could be looking at another Trevonte Bridges situation. So now the guys I have some interest in, Roman Allison. He's the next guy I have some interest in. He looks like a pretty good receiver. Round 1 to 2 talent. Not many receivers went in the first. I think the Cardinals probably need receiver. Actually, they kind of don't. Unless you think Christian Kirk is too old and you don't think he's going to develop that much more, then I guess you're good. I mean, you got an X-Factor Marvin Harrison Jr. who has double me. Michael Wilson looks good too. He's not too old. Cardinals, I don't think they're going to go Roman, whatever his name is, Allison. I'm kind of nervous about Roman Allison going a little bit earlier. He's around 1 to 2 talent. He looks pretty good. He's one of the better receivers in the draft. So, this makes me nervous. And with concerns of us not really being able to get Roman Allison, I trade up. I gotta get another receiver. We kind of have no other choice. Now, you might be saying, oh, you wasted too much. You put too much out there. I've got to do anything I possibly can to help replace Garrett Wilson. We have already got a big hole at receiver now. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Now, like I said, we have to replace Garrett Wilson somehow. We traded him before to the Cincinnati Bengals. It was going to be a tough game. I like Roman Allison. He looks like a pretty decent talent. He had a pretty decent combine, and he's just an overall decent talent. Number 24, NFL-ready pass catcher, shows great concentration catch in traffic, and several wild catches on film. Hidden dev receiver, 91 speed as well. Roman Allison, we are 2 for 2. Allison's incredible, 96 jumping. This looks like an incredible... He looks incredible. Now, his medium route running isn't the best, but we might have just found Garrett Wilson's replacement. I don't know how this man I don't know how he's fallen so far, but this looks incredible. Take a peek at his combine and his pro day. This man looks great. Elite speed, elite jumping, elite excel. How did he fall this far? To the end of the second? Wow. His zone coverage is great. Awareness is great. Tackle is great. Power moves suck. But Jerome Baldwin, we might have just replaced Devin Bush pretty much instantly. This man looks incredible. I mean, I don't really have too many needs right now, but Baldwin looks great. We might have just found 2 really good linebackers. Right as the linebackers, our linebacking core might just have been pretty much complete. Baldwin looks incredible. 108? No, wow. How? He looked incredible at the combine, and his stuff looks really okay. His stats don't look the best, but I mean, I thought he was gonna be much better. 87 speed. I mean, I thought he was gonna be pretty good. Well, as you can see, at 147, Keontae Route. He went to the Denver Broncos. One of the promising receivers who was a day 3 guy. He goes at 147. Rather unfortunate, but I mean, we've got another guy who's a potential UDFA who could be going. Ranked 222 at 160. Former high school power forward. Normal dev, so that kind of sucks. Fans hate the take. That's not good. I couldn't wait much longer. I would have probably lost him if I didn't take him now. Now we've already got our new receiver 1, but this man looked insane. He went from a potential UDFA to round 3 to 4 talent. He's fast. He's 5'9". He's 107. He's hit a dev. 99 speed. We could have made this guy Mr. Irrelevant. He would have been one of the best Mr. Irrelevants. Getting a hidden dev in the 6th round. Pick 32 in the 6th round. This is incredible. Sergio Delgado. Look at that. He's 5'9", 94 jumping, 99 speed, 94 change of direction, 99 agility. This man's insane. You wanted speed. You got speed. I'm glad we took him now because I very much fear he would have been taken much, much earlier. Mr. Irrelevant. We didn't really need too much. But, I mean, this guy looked decent enough. Wasn't really too many guys we wanted to go after, so we're just going to take a D-tackle. Jimmy Ellington is your 2028 Mr. Irrelevant. We don't really know, because for whatever reason, it glitches out when you make the last pick. But you can see right there, it looks pretty good out of the Ohio State. We're one of his top fits. And now for our draft, Roman Allison, 76 overall. Excuse me? Alexander Landry's only a 70 overall. How does it make sense? Delgado is a 69 overall. Ellington is a 67. Now, there has been a glitch to where it makes your guys, or where it glitches out and it freezes your game. So I'm going to try not to go into too much depth with these guys. Well, I'm going to go into depth, but I just can't click on him. Landry, I thought he was a good pick. He looked like a really good linebacker, but apparently not. Allison, he looks like an incredible receiver. But I seriously doubt he was the best one that was on the board. Oh boy. There was so many 80 overalls. 84, 83, 82, 81. Ooh. Well, it seems the Dolphins, they've got a really good D tackle. Generational. Generational is an understatement. He is a generational D tackle. He's not getting that number 77. I'm just going to change it. 90, 91, sure. Donnie Huron, generational X Factor D tackle. Now, let's take a look at the first round Uh, I mean, the top two picks, you could tell these two guys are really freaking good. Dolphins got their guy. Generational X Factor, D tackle. Now, I don't go and look at my guys. If they're hidden dev, I don't go look at their stuff. I don't. I leave it be and figure it out later. But for other guys that are not on my team, that probably won't ever be on my team, well, I'm not gonna say they'll never be on my team, but I say that because most likely that I'll never see him because he'll keep getting re-signed. Seattle. Ooh, that's not a good idea. Going at QB, and he's not even better than Kai Brooks. The Giants, that's another one. You can't expect them to be great. I don't see why y'all took a QB in the first. This high. You took a top 10 quarterback who wasn't even top 10. Yikes. And then Ashton Chancellor, pretty solid corner. Delonte Stokes, him and Roman Allison were the same overall, so luckily we didn't waste our time trading up to 10. Luckily. He is hidden dev, though. And he's only a star dev, so he's not going to be going. He's not doing anything crazy. I mean, he could win Rookie of the Year, but you don't got a quarterback like Mike Ward throwing to you like Roman Allison does. Okay, let's take a chill pill, pal. Let's take a chill pill. Now to look at the first round, every really good player went pretty much in the first round. The best quarterback taken in the first was Braxton Moore, surprisingly. Now, the best quarterback in the entire draft, ooh, Zach Malone. Interesting. He's taken at, well, I guess he's technically not the best. He's from LSU, 75 overall, so not starting off that bad. Braxton Moore. Devontae Dawkins. Pretty good looking player. And Kurt Hall, who was took top 10, was the worst player in the first round. That's very surprising. And of course, the best player taken in the second was Taylor Parker. Round two, pick one. First pick of round two. It seems they did pretty well. And we got the third best player in the second round. Not bad. Roman Allison, he's a hidden dev receiver out of Arizona State. That is actually pretty freaking good. But we're not going to be able to get too much more. I'll probably put Adonai Mitchell behind Allison. He'll be the fourth string, and then Sergio will be the fifth string. Because Sergio, I mean, I could put him in the slot. I could put him as a slot receiver. He can do some work, but he's kind of slow. Well, not slow. Okay, saying slow to him is very disrespectful. See, it's literally the dead opposite. But yeah, so the best player, we technically tied with the best player in the second round, and the worst was Jerome Baldwin. I don't know how Baldwin was so bad. How Landry and Baldwin were so bad, like low rated. They both really look good. Just, I don't know. For round three, the highest overall player taken was Tim Moats, strong safety out of Utah. That's not pretty bad. And the worst player is a free safety. Oh, that's bad. Round three, 61 overall. Yikes. That does not look good. So, I just remembered. This guy's the one who's 242 pounds as a QB. 67 overall. Obviously, he's extremely slow, but he's got a freaking rocket arm. Or so they say. Let's see, what's his throw power? 94? I mean, that's not even bad. That's actually really good. Now, it doesn't match Mike Ward's. Well, about one. But Jerry Hooker, he's not good, but he's not too terrible. I'd be surprised if he's anything more than normal dev, to be honest. Now, round 4, the best player taken was a center, and the worst was by the Broncos. And then we're in the 5th round, where a 75 overall managed to slip through this far. And we're also at the point where the Bucs take probably the worst player in the draft. And round 6, we still have really good players slipping pretty freaking far. And then we also have these straight up bums, but this is around the time you think of taking them. But another one I want to look at. Where is Rote? Because Route couldn't have been too bad. Like, I don't... Because Delgado was 69 overall. Route must have been a little bit worse. Well, actually, Route was a 70 overall, 91 speed, 90 excel. Now, I'm still glad we took Sergio, but Keontae Route would not have been a bad player to have at all. He looks pretty solid. His agility isn't the best, but his change of direction is really good. His catching's 81. His catching... Okay, show me Sergio's right now. I understand Sergio is 5'9". Literally the fastest player in the draft. Hayden Dev. If he does not have something better than Star, I might be mad. His spec catch is... It's pretty good for a rookie in the 6th round. 76 overall catch in traffic and 71 catch. Keontae Root. He was a more, let's just say, well-developed player. Sergio got through Central Michigan with his speed and speed alone. But, I mean, Sergio's still a good player otherwise. Well, his route running sucks. This man cannot run a good route to save his life. I'm surprised he's even freaking 69 overall. The speed is probably helping him out pretty significantly. I did this last year, and it was painfully difficult. But if we can get Travis Etienne Jr. up to a superstar dev, that would be incredible. We already have like blazing speed at receiver. Sergio Delgado, I want to try to definitely get him some looks. But Etienne, if he can get up to a superstar dev from this, that would be just great. Yikes. So he's got the gold. He's just got to get down. That was actually much easier than before. He's got really good speed. It's just we really need to work on his catching because he doesn't really have good catching. His catching is 71. But for a 6-rounder, you can't really expect too much out of him. He is hidden dev, so that must mean something is there. So you can't count him out just yet. I really love that he's got 99 speed. And he's even, like, really fast, too. Well, I'm literally saying the same thing. But developing his catching skills will definitely help a lot. He's up to silver. He's got 3 reps left. Boom. And he's got gold. Just like that, he's got gold. He's got pretty good change of direction, too, which is awesome. He's got gold. And last year, we gave him this drill to Trevante Bridges, and it seems Landry is flying through it. Wow. He is just straight zooming. Got through there pretty freaking quick. What are we doing? Bro, is this rookie great or something? Because we struggled with this last year with Trevante. I don't know, but Landry, hidden dev, 70 overall, he might be greater than we think. I don't know. But he is zooming through this drill. No. Nope. Oh, that was close. How the frick did we get that? Oh my god. We almost screwed it up at the end. And somebody wanted to talk to me about a position battle. If I had to guess, it's probably Mason Taylor. He's done this, he's asked pretty much every year. But the downside is, Colston Loveland is a superstar dev. Yep, it's Mason Taylor. Bro, I've already told you year after year. Now was not a good time. Mason, you are going to get targets. If you could get up to star dev, maybe I'll think about it. But for now, Colston Loveland is a superstar dev. I hate to say this, but yeah, you aren't ready. I need you to get up to star dev for even considering this. Keep putting in the work. You may never know when that day may come. You always get to play. I know you can't be a real difference maker whenever I'm playing. But Colston Loveland is a superstar dev. Whatever you want me to do. Heard you had a visitor today. Just want to say thanks. Okay, ready to do great things this year. Little concerned how you knew that aside, you are our starter for a reason. Yep, superstar dev tight end. Let's kick butt this year. This is kind of surprising. We had the lead, we just couldn't score after. Our backups didn't really do much. Mike Ward, he played pretty good. He only got sacked once. Daniel Jones, the back. Wait. Okay, I'm pretty sure Daniel Jones is just a backup. Sean Watson throwing a pick. Yeah, he might not be the answer. But Rashad White played. Deshaun Jackson. Hopefully he's not as fast as the receiver. We got to see Sergio Delgado with a... Okay, that's not true. Now receiving yards. For receiving yards, Tayshaun Starks got 40 yards. Donnie Mitchell got 20. Delgado only got 11, but it's on one catch. And it was a long of 11, of course. And what about Roman Allison? I didn't see him. Okay, it seems like he didn't really get a target. How did the defense do? Okay, Landry, 3 tackles, 1 assist, 2 solo. Okay, he had an alright game. Not anything special. It's only preseason, so did what's his name play? Baldwin. There we go. Not as good of a game, but he played. You've got to be kidding me. Injuries are not a good thing for us. Baldwin, our third string linebacker, and Travis Etienne Jr. That ain't looking good for us at all. Rashad White's our backup, but we've got a chance to do something. But against the New York Giants, the crosstown, well, technically not crosstown because we kind of play at the same place. So against New York, we do quite well. Deshaun has a much better game than last one against the Falcons. Falcons, of course, have a really good defense. Joe Milton would not be a bad player to actually try to get. He's definitely a good backup, so maybe we replace Deshaun with Joe Milton. Because, I mean, Joe Milton looks promising. We can basically do what a bunch of teams do. Take young guys who look promising, develop them, make them look good. So, we might make a small trade for Joe Milton real quick. Now, Justin Diaz, I wanted him to develop a little bit. Cam Scannable looks pretty good. Tyrone Tracy. That's my boy. If you paid attention to my channel, you would have noticed the freaking Anchorage Tigers. Tyrone Tracy was a dog. He played quite well. Rashad White as well. Now for receiving, Sergio Delgado, the 6th-round hidden dev player. He did really well. 4 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown, a long of 26. Okay, him and Deshaun looking great. Mason Taylor getting some action. Adonai Mitchell. Okay. Wait, actually, I wanted to check. What about Roman Allison? Okay, 1 for 11. That's not terrible. And now for tackles, Shamar Turner. Even in preseason, he's dominating. So let's hope he can keep this up. Cam Dunn. I believe the first overall pick last year. He looked pretty good as well. John Johnson. How did our boys do? Corey Black, okay. Blaine Jarrett, the linebacker we took last year. Landry only getting a tackle, so definitely didn't play as good as he could have. And I don't imagine Baldwin did good either. Yeah, he didn't get a single tackle. Let's just hope this preseason isn't a sign of how this entire season's going to go. Because losing 14-17 to the Rams is not what we want to see. Mike Ward, he had a pretty good game. Only got sacked once. I haven't traded for Joe Milton yet. Tucker Turner played pretty well. Hugh McPherson, the quarterback they took, it doesn't have a tag for Tucker Turner, so it seems like they believe in Hugh McPherson more. I mean, Hugh McPherson was a really high dev, so I think it was like superstar. So the Rams might have just found their next guy. He played pretty good as well. Oh yeah, I almost forgot we gave them Breece Hall. Almost freaking forgot. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch. Kyron Williams and Breece Hall. Hopefully Breece Hall can get himself a 1,000-yard season, but considering he's going to be the backup, I seriously doubt it. Now for receiving, Rashid Shaheed balling out. Sergio Delgado, one catch, 48 yards, and a touchdown. So this is back-to-back games with him having a touchdown. Okay. Delgado playing pretty good. Sherwood leading the game in tackles, of course. Antoine Dawson. Sam linebacker we took 2 years ago, apparently. Now for TFLs. The Rams dominated. Tony Adams and Jermaine Johnson getting some TFLs, of course. Antoine Dawson getting a sack. And Will McDonald. Maybe this Dawson kid isn't as bad as we thought. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. How is this possible? We took this man in the 6th round. Superstar Dev, wide receiver. 5'9", 181, rookie out of Central Michigan. This is insane. We've been trying to work on his catching, but oh my god. He might have just found his way into our starting lineup. I mean, he was already balling out, but Jesus freaking Christ. 6th round rookie with superstar Dev. Can this get any freaking better? Oh my lord. We've got ETN out with injury. Let's see his traits. Whoa. Oh, jeez. That's a lot of traits. He's got Energizer. Let's change that. Let's see. I guess we can go Steamroller, because he's not that high of an overall. He was 69 overall, and he got up to 75. If that's a sign of anything, be prepared for him to ball out. Because Sergio Delgado, superstar dev receiver, that is insane for a 6th round rookie. We got the steal of the freaking draft. How is this possible? I don't understand. Why is he so good? Yet his stats are just so bad. This is... Oh boy. Now, Roman Allison hasn't really had his dev trait revealed. He isn't even freaking close. Now, it doesn't seem like he played all that much. Okay. Well, I mean, hopefully we can get it revealed by the end of the season, which it very well should be. And for Alexander Landry, he managed to get up to a 75 overall as well. He started off as a 70. But, I mean, we are one away. We are one play away, or I guess one down away from his dev trait getting revealed. I mean, he didn't really play all that special during preseason, so maybe it's just star dev. I mean, if it's based off how he played, I mean, he didn't really play all that well. I mean, let's see his traits. Safe tackler. Okay, so he's not looking as crazy as freaking Delgado, who of all people is freaking superstar dev. You would expect a guy like freaking Alexander Landry, who looked insane. Well, then again, Delgado looks freaking crazy. His physicals looked insane. His combines were really freaking good. Alexander Landry, his combines were pretty good as well. But he didn't really play nearly as good as Delgado did in preseason. But, I mean, Alexander Landry with Hidden Dev, he's going to be sitting behind Danny Stutzman for now. I mean, it kind of sucks that we don't have his thing revealed yet. But I'm just hoping it's not just star dev, because that would suck. Well, not really. He's a pretty talented uh linebacker, so we'll be starting the season against the Kansas City Chiefs. Year 4 is looking to be a pretty freaking good one. And we're going to be playing against a team who started the season very bad last year, and then they started playing much, much better. This Chiefs game is going to be a tough one, but we're an 89 overall. We go down like 1 or 2 overalls from last year. I think it's just one, but we got rid of Garrett Wilson, who probably was one of the main reasons why we were so good last year. Well, no, not really. He had 1,000 yards, but considering we have a superstar dev receiver in Sergio Delgado, let me go fix that real quick. Well, that's going to do it. We're going to be heading into Season 3 with a pretty solid looking squad. We somehow drafted a superstar dev receiver in the 6th round. The first pick we did was Alexander, the linebacker, the will linebacker, 2nd round, 3rd pick, and then we took Roman Allison, another receiver, 76 overall. We took him, and literally the next pick, 2nd round, 4th pick. So this squad's looking pretty solid. Now, with the loss of Garrett Wilson, getting rid of him during the draft to the Bengals are probably going to be a really good freaking squad. If Joe Burrow can stay healthy, I don't see anybody stopping him. But then again, the Bengals are going to have a lot of money to pay out to those guys, which means they're not going to have any money to go get any big time guys this offseason, like this next offseason. So the Bengals are going to have a tough, tough year after this one because they've got a lot of money to be given to a lot of different players. But that's going to do it for now. I will see y'all in the next episode where we take on the Kansas City Chiefs with our new look squad without Garrett Wilson. Mike Ward, he's going to have to start trying to target Darius Etienne and his new superstar dev receiver from the 6th round with 99 speed, 98 excel. He's been working on his catching this preseason. He's got it up to 76. That's still not the best, but it's much better than before at 71. We'll have to see how this Chiefs game goes. That'll be it for me here today. I am Yo Boy Baller 1. We are the New York Jets in Season 4. As always, saying peace out, everyone.